Hello, this is Manish Patel from Ichimoku Today is March 8th, 2015. This is our executive summary for the currency spot market for the futures market out there. Okay, let's begin. Normal procedure. This is for education use only. We're not soliciting you to buy or sell any particular instruments. If you do so, you're doing that at your own risk. All the charts you're going to see here today are from TradeStation. Here are our contact details here, where you could contact us at ichimokutrade.com, or you could email us here. You could see our institutional report here, or you could give us a call at any of our office locations here. Okay, so let's begin, and let's go straight to our charts. If you guys remember, on the left hand side is basically the daily time frame, and on the right hand side is the weekly time frame. Okay, so very first currency we're going to look at here is the get them sync is going to be the Australian Cad currency. So you can see Australian Cad currency started a bearish trend here, then it decided to pull back here. The pullback was so severe it almost sat there and started a bullish trend here on the daily time frame, which is not good at all. And then it decided to want to go down. It's consolidating now. So this thing is consolidating right now. The key thing here is it's got to break the support at 96.52 in order to retest this low and start to resume the bearish trend to the downside. Okay, so 96.52 is the key level. The top of the consolidation pattern is going to be 98.78. If it breaks this resistance here, then this thing's going to sit there and consolidate in a big wide range. So be very careful on how you want to trade this instrument right now, because it's really ranging between 98.78 and 96.52, and it's got to break out one of those two levels to determine which way it wants to go. Next, you have Australian yen. If you look at Australian yen here, let's look at the weekly time frame here and shrink this down, and you can see this is one big ugly pattern here. Had a chance here, it should have sat there and held the support here to keep on going higher. It didn't do that at all. Decided to come down, kind of held the support here roughly around 91.49, and now it's just sitting there consolidating around this level here. Bounced up, it's holding its resistance level at 93.44. This thing has got more high probability to the bearish side. However, it's got to break this 91.49 in order to start a bearish trend to the downside. So once it breaks this, it could retest this low and then it could start a trend to the downside. However, if it breaks this, then it's going to sit there and resume this trend here to the downside. As long as prices are not going to the cloud, this is going to be very strong going forward. So keep an eye on Australian yen to the bearish side. Not quite ready here. Australian Switzy here, you could see nice trend here, a pullback here, major pullback, and then it decided to pretty much tank. This was the bank for the Switzerland bank coming out with their decision. They can't rocket it all the way down. Now it came back to this level here. That's one minor resistance level right now, which it's kind of at right now. If it holds here, this is going to be very strong to a point. If it holds here, it's going to have a high probability of coming back to retest this low at 69.36. So Australian yen is at a very critical level right now, where if it holds, pretty much it can sit there and retest the low. Australia and New Zealand, you could see this has been a nice one going down. Bearish trend here, did a major pullback here, held the low pullback level and sat there and retested the low. It's trying to sit there and break this level at 278. It has not succeeding at all. It really needs to sit there and break it to continue the trend going downwards here. It's just a little fake action here. Notice this one was a little below here. This one's a little below here. So they're playing little games here at those support levels. But if it could break this level here, it could start a trend to the downside. However, if you look at your daily time frame here, it's starting to weaken as far as the bearish is concerned. Should have sat there and hold this minor resistance level here at 39.17. It didn't quite do that at all, and now it's 391. Didn't hold this resistance at 391, and it's trying to make a move backwards, upwards here. So this thing may decide it wants to consolidate. The key thing is that if it breaks this red line here at 538, that's resistance here, it's going to pretty much sit there and probably consolidate and has a high probability getting to 800 at the top level. However, we got to wait and see exactly what's going to happen here. We're really looking for it to break the support for the trend to continue to go to the downside. Next to Australian USD, as you could probably tell, most people know the US dollar is still very, very strong right now, and you could see that from the weekly chart. This is still going on very strong. Didn't even quite pull back to this resistance level of 79.64. Instead fell short of it and trying to make a move down now. So it's trying to retest this pivot low here. Once it does that, then it's got a high probability of breaking it. Next target level is about 71.48 for the Australian USD for us. Cad Switzy, if you look here on the Cad Switzy here, unlike the Australian Switzy here, notice here it's got the resistance level and it actually closed above that resistance level here. However, we're not really looking at that because that looks like a little bleep. That's to retest that there. So we got to see a follow through this week in order to say that it really did break this resistance level here. If it did, it's got a high probability coming back up to about 82.33. If it holds here, then it's got a high probability of retesting that low. Next is Cad Yen. This is probably one ugly looking chart for them. This is pretty much the first time in years that you've actually have the Cad Yen looking this ugly at this period of the time. Typically it's bullish, but it's not even seeing that now. And you could see it here. It's just kind of hanging around. And the last couple of weeks, the support at 94.9 has been holding. However, the top part of the range is 97.11. So we're waiting to see exactly what's going to happen here. But this thing still has more of a bearish tilt than bullish tilt, as long as this resistance here at 97.11 holds. Switzy Yen here had a nice little bullish breakout here. Should have sat there and held here at 125.08. Didn't hold that at all. So this is now the bullish trend is pretty much over. And now the question is this thing going to consolidate or start a bearish trend? So now this thing's moving to about the next support, which is 121.52. We got to wait and see exactly what's going to happen there. But you could see that the daily is also trending bearish, which is pretty much forcing price here to come down to this level here. If it breaks out support, it's got a high probability of coming all the way down to 114, so don't be surprised. Euro Australian here, you could see here, nice bullish trend here, major pullback here. Didn't quite retest as high up here at all, and then pretty much broke the support here. Excuse me. At 45.61. Since it broke that support here, this thing could either consolidate or start a bearish trend now. Since it's holding now and you're at a major support here at 40.19, if it breaks the support at 40.19, watch out, because this thing could start trending here and it could even eventually get here by the end of the year. So this one's going on very, very strong, and everyone's got to be very careful, because if it breaks this resistance support level here, this thing can sit there and tank to a whole new level, and there are about 500-600 pips zones between the different support levels. If you look at the Euro Cad, you could see that it's already breaking out the support, unlike the Euro Australian here. And you could see it's broken out the support here, and it's on its way, its journey down to about 32.48 is the next support level for the Euro Cad. Next is going to be the Euro Switzy. You could see it still has not come back halfway to its resistance level here, so it's kind of sitting there, not getting even close to it at all. But that level is going to be roughly around 1100. So we're kind of falling short here in getting that resistance level, whereas all the pairs so far that we've discussed against the Switzy, like the Australian, the Cad, and so forth, have gotten those resistance levels, but not quite. Euro Cad, this has been a great trade, going bearish. You can see a nice little bearish trend here. This is a trade that keeps on giving if you're in the bearish side. It's at a major support right now of 71.94, so we're going to wait and see exactly what's happened here. But everything is still showing us this is very strong bearish to a point. It still could sit there and break that level and come all the way down to the nice even number of 7,000. So don't be surprised if you do see 7,000 in the next couple of weeks. Euro Yen here. You can see a nice bearish trend here on the daily time frame. However, here on the weekly, it's a little ugly. Notice this broke out here to the top side with this bullish trend here, did a major pullback, retested the high here, broke it, made everyone think this thing's going bullish, and then sat there and reversed completely. This thing is one ugly thing that's coming out right now, and this does have a high probability starting a bearish trend here. So we've already broken the support, didn't hold at all at 132.18. It's retesting this low here, and it still has a lot of momentum where it could break that and take it to a whole new level, 126. So keep an eye on the Euro Yen for sure to possibly break that and keep on going down. Euro New Zealand And you could see this is a trend against all the euro currency pairs right now where the euro is weak. The euro New Zealand is trending to the downside. Next support is going to be 43.19. Euro SEK, you could see Euro SEK also had a potential chance of holding this support here and continuing on its bullish trend. Didn't hold the support at all. Sat there and came to the next support level, which is way down here at 1822. So far holding right now, and the reason why it's very, very oversold. So you may see a little minor pullback upwards on this one, but we're not quite sure when and where, at what level. Euro USD, as we talked about, the dollar strong, euro's being weak. So of course this is a pair that's going to look the best to trade right now, and this is continuing its journey and it's trying to get to par, believe it or not. Next support we have is about 571, but it'd be interesting if it does get to par. I think a lot of people are going to be amazed that it even got to that level at all. Pound Australian, you could see here is a nice bullish trend here. Broke the resistance at 91.78, 91.78. Got to the next resistance at 97.66. Held, trying to pull back now, and it's got to sit there and hold this level here at 91.78 in order to remain bullish. And this is a multiple time frame support too, so I wouldn't be surprised if it does hold it. If it does, then it's got to sit there and start making a move back up to this resistance and break it. But this is overall still bullish right now. Euro Switzy, you could see didn't even hold this resistance level here, broke that, and it came back up here, and it's trying to complete its journey of retracing this whole big red bar going down, which is pretty interesting to see. So this is slowly trickling upwards. Next resistance level is going to be 52.34 for the pound Switzy. Pound Yen, you could see here, gone up, up, up. Nice bullish trend here, came down. Was trying to go for a major pullback, didn't quite do that. Broke a minor resistance, came up to a major one at 184.69. It's holding it now to a point. This thing may sit there, consolidate a little, and you could see it happening here on the daily time frame. But if it gets below the cloud on the daily, watch out. This thing could sit there and go for its first pullback, major pullback after a very, very long time. And it's well overdue too. Australia, New Zealand, really nothing exciting going on at all. It's just ranging between 81 here and about 897 up there. Next is going to be the pound USD, and you can see the pound USD is going down, down, down. Here it didn't quite get to our resistance level here, kind of fell short of it there, and then made a huge movement down here. This is telling us this has got a lot of strong momentum in this guy to a point it could sit there and break the support here at 50.19. If it does, it's got a high probability of getting all the way down to 44.94, so keep an eye on that one for sure. New Zealand Cad here, really not doing anything. Bullish trend here, major pullback to the support level at 88.04, held it. Now it's sitting there retesting this high up here at 94.62. This is a major resistance here, and it's got to break this major resistance in order for this thing to continue to keep on going higher. The support it has to hold in order for it to remain bullish is going to be 91.28. New Zealand Switzy here broke the resistance at 71.12, so it looks like there's some more upside to this guy. New Zealand Yen had a chance here to sit there and go bullish, then couldn't sit there and hold a support here at 88.71. Couldn't hold it at all, so went down in here. Let's take a lot of momentum out of this guy right now because it did that here. And there's high probability that now that since it did that, it could sit there and break the support at 88.71. If it does, you got to see a bearish cloud breakout here on the daily in order to sit there and look for a bearish trend on both the daily and the weekly to start occur. New Zealand USD is, of course, this is bearish. Held a minor resistance level of 75.30. It's going to the support at 72.69. If it breaks that, it's got another 400-point journey to about 68.62. New Zealand Yen, this is bullish trending here on the weekly time frame. Going to a major support here at, and let's see what this level is, 86.50, holding that level right now, and it's sitting there trying to just consolidate now. The more it consolidates, the worse it's going to be for the bullish momentum. The more it consolidates, the more it's going to sit there and attempt to try to break the support. So this thing really needs to start there and start making a move upwards. If you look at the daily time frame, the minor support at 87.2. 87.42 is holding this guy up. If they break it, it's going to go retest this low here, and then possibly could go lower from there. US CAD here, bullish trending on both the daily and weekly. You can see it's consolidating here at the top on the daily, but the weekly is still showing that the lows of the bars are making higher highs. Are making highs, and this thing is trying to break out this little consolidation pattern, but to the top side. Next, you have the US SWITSI here. You could see here it didn't hold a resistance here at 93.46. Now it's sitting there trying to retest this high up here at 99.75. Next is the US yen. You could see this is still very, very strong here, and the reason why you're having a little hiccup here is you could see from all the yen pairs, a lot of the yen pairs are going, the yen is getting stronger, so there's a battle here between the dollar and the yen, and of course the dollar is probably extremely strong against all the currencies here. So you could see the little consolidation here, but then slowly the dollar's starting to win out here to a point it's got a high probability it's going to get to the pivot high very soon and possibly break that, and you could see that here from the daily time frame here too, where this is still very strong here. Chance of it going bearish were going to be slim due to this big thick cloud right there. US Singapore dollar, and you could see this is nicely trending here to the top side, been trending very nicely, and you could see here it's hitting a resistance at 37.85 now, which is a major resistance. Okay. That is our video for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys in a couple of weeks. Thank you.